Hello, welcome back YouTube. It is time for Stationeers. There we go. Did the shenanigans. We did the funny. I'm glad you liked it, Kelly Birch. I'm hoping to add some more effects in time. But it's what I got. You know? It's my painting. I can do what I want. In case someone's wondering, yeah, the background is an acrylic painting I made like a year and a half back or so. Better to drink coffee than coffee to drink you. Very true. Alright, getting this on, so now we can do... Here we go, all tab out, so let me do the thing. Come on, OBS, I believe in you. Okay. Let's wait for all the things to finish loading. Speaking of coffee, let's have some more. Heck and delicious. Come on, OBS. Why are you not showing the game? Oh, there it is. Nice. Now... Yeah, glabba indeed. I'm gonna turn off this music. And then we're gonna... I have one giant playlist of multiple OSTs I own. There we go. Because Stationeers does not have a soundtrack really. It does have a way for you to make your own music, but I'm not really a musician. I tried to make one, and I still haven't set up the speakers for it because I made one place with a large elevator, and then I wanted to make elevator music, and I technically did it. And one of these days, I'll get my shit together and go put in all the speakers that we need for that one. In the meantime, hopefully this should work. Those who don't know, this one is from Mars First Logistics, also an extremely fun game. Oh yeah, we took a lot of health damage last time, didn't we? Because I was so hyperfixated on trying to make a silly experiment with how infinite energy / infinite water machine didn't really work, and I did sort of forget to eat and drink. Oh, we need to have a shower. This is the production floor, which is, as you might be able to guess, that what used to be the starter platform. There used to be a building here, but it exploded. Thankfully, I was not inside at the time. Then eventually around it, I built a hall, and the base keeps on growing. The idea is to eventually build this to be a nice, proper spread out production floor, but I just haven't gotten around to it just yet. Back once again, and I see you are almost done with the game. Also, Stationeers a little. You're right, Sankira. Please, don't let rocket work slow. We can let our mouth farts because the external pressure is... Well, it can fit some more. At some point, we're gonna have to get proper air conditioning inside here as well, but that's a then problem, not a now problem. And we don't really have to worry about our health. Oh, we're already up to 81%. Isn't that heckin' magical? Ba-da-bum. Yeah, that's me messing around with all of that. And this is from Pillars of Eternity. A wonderful game I should play at some point. Let me replay. Okay, we're gonna ignore our infinite water experiment thing that we tried to do last time. Wait, can I ignore it? Or is it on? It's not on, is it? I don't think it's on. Oh, well, worst case scenario, massive explosions, but I won't be there when it happens. My first use of actual airlock doors, and it is fun. With spinny lights and everything. Now, this whole entire thing needs to be, well, redesigned. Well, reworked. I like how quickly now it cycles to fill in, because that it leads to a giant tank with all the greenhouse air. This one would be then filtering oxygen out from our general greenhouse atmosphere once we start having too much oxygen. Needs a bit of code, but we'll get there. Not that important at this time. The idea is for this to be, you know, atmospherics. And we need to build many things. Good old Larry. Larrying along, doing his gosh darn Larryest. We have brought in water from the outside. We can bring in more, and we crushed in some ice. Let's see what we have here. In this pipe network, we have a temperature of 43. Oh, it's gone down now nicely. And last time I checked, it was closer to 100. This one's 18.5. Excellent. Next, I'm hoping to then also use all the water we get in from here, in here. And oh yeah, we finished this airlock as well. First experiment with using a inline tank to suck in the air from here. And I got it to work just pretty well. You see, you first put in a passive vent, especially if you have enough pressure. So this one has a base pressure of 87, I do believe. Okay, 1.61 megapascals. Well, you know what? It is less than 50, which is where it'll explode, so that'll be fine. And that thing having now a higher pressure than, well, the atmosphere here, would also means that refilling this place using a simple active vent is now much faster. This one was a very nice thing to discover. And we need a large amount of hydroponic trays. My super simplistic Larry code does work, miraculously enough, and it also recognizes its dumping station, and the code also recognizes that if there's anything in here, you know, do the flip. Alright, now all they're doing is wheat. And we're going to be linking all of our grow lights into the yellow cable, because we have the very core of automated grow light systems here, using just these. In case someone didn't know. So, we're automating the grow lights for your vegetables. Greens. What you need is a daylight sensor, and as you can see, we are inside underground and it's fine. We have a batch writer, so it'll write into its output being to, there we go, all grow lights. Input is the state from our logic comparison unit, which is comparing the vertical from here, right? Sorry, horizontal value. So we read the horizontal value from here. So where's the sun? And we are comparing it to a value that I have here at 100. So 90 is usually, you know, where it goes across the horizon. But especially on Europa, the days are a little shorter, so we want a little bit extra daytime. So if we turn that to 100, makes the comparison you need to here look at, which if the logic reader here is, the horizontal value is less than our memory, then the state becomes 1. And the batch writer is merely writing the state from our comparison unit to each and all row light within the system. If you want a shorter day, you make these number smaller. If you want a longer day, you make this number larger. Because and that way you can follow the position of the sun and have nice automated grow lights following a day-night cycle based on the actual position of the sun. Heckin' amazing. Now Larry here needs a bit more code. We have all of that in there. Yeah, this is the concept sort of hole here. So that if it's Larry should be able to, if necessary, request seed. And well, currently it's just here for me to test. I can chuck shit in here and it'll end up there. Larry can't. The thing is not actually part of the code just yet. But this is my import, but for Larry it is the dump station. So it goes around. If it detects a plant that has reached maturity, we enter our harvest cycle, where it then starts going down and harvesting. Because apparently Larry here can hold many, many things. Ooh, is that one done? It might be. Yes. And as you can see, Larry is harvesting. And Larry will keep harvesting. And what failed the first time was it didn't replant using the same plant. And now it does it. See, the very last one was picked up, and then it has one more activation, which means that with whatever in its hand, it does the replanting. And once it reaches the dump station, put the stuff in there. Nice. And see the logic there. Chucked it out as well. Now all of our food is being sent to a refrigerated vending machine. Partly because, you know, having it refrigerated makes it rot slower. But also because it has the magical property of having an auto-stacking device. So even if it keeps on sending like 3s and 2s, eventually they'll always stack to full 100s. Can he hold seeds and produce products at once? Yes, he can actually, because he has that little extra hopper. So he can hold 2 separate things at once. So you can. So currently, I've set him to just pick up when things reach maturity. But if he wants seeds, we could then pick up things once they seed. Then you pick up and you do the harvest at the same time, and then replant the last of the harvest, because the seed goes in the hopper. Because if it has something in its hand and the hopper is empty, and it tries to pick up something that is not the same as what it has in its hand, then whatever is in its hand goes into the hopper. And then when it empties the hand, then whatever was in the hopper goes back into the hand. And when picking things up, it will auto-stack them just like a player would, which is why we can have it do the same harvesting so many times. And even with multiple different kinds of plants, I mean, as long as there are multiples of the same plant, he can just keep on harvesting, because, you know, as long as there's less than 100 there, it'll be fine. Even if it goes to 100, then that stack goes in the hopper. So you cannot swap it to plant seed. No. Sort of on the run. I would just do that actually in code. So he has different modes. You would have planting mode and a harvesting mode. Harvesting would be this default cycle it's doing. And then we could have it when it detects an empty tray. Then, you know, engage. Then I would have like flags, some variable where we store what the mode is. It'll switch over to like planting mode. And that will hopefully then make sure that it doesn't accidentally enter like harvesting mode once it's doing the planting. So I would add into its memory like where did I find an empty tray? Then remember that station number. If possible, request seed from a vending machine. I currently have a second vending machine here, which is where I'm holding all the seeds, because they don't need to be refrigerated. So we could have the logic request appropriate seed from here that goes into an appropriate dump station. Larry goes there, waits for the seed to come, or for the vending machine to say, sorry, we don't have any. And then he picks up the seed, or returns to what he was doing. And then he goes back to the station where it was sent to this area. And then we could either have it only pick up one seed at a time, or if you want to be able to usually would be all you would need. But if you would like it to be able to like replant everything at once, you could have the code, in fact, detecting sort of like, okay, well, this was in, say, the grains area here. And then it goes, picks up a whole freaking like stack of seeds. And then while in grains area, first it goes replant the one, and then it checks all the others, just in case there was another one, before it brings those seeds back and puts it back in the hopper for them to be, appropriately processed. Back in the storage systems. Because that's what I was kind of thinking, because I want one Larry, but to be able to have multiple plants. So I'm thinking I'm going to add into the code the sort of numbers, like if station is between numbers, 0 and 20. Well, then I know that would be all of my wheat. If it's between 21 and 40, well, that's all the soy. Then 41 and 60 would be potatoes or ferns or whatever I'm planting here. And that way it could then, act appropriately depending on what it might have in its hand as well. So that, and then it can bring seeds to fit that, to go to that place, or if not seeds, then bring in plants from here and plant those instead. That's sort of how I've been imagining this. So, yeah. So in that way, yeah, the question, can it swap them around? As far as I know, no, not on the fly, but you just add some code where puts whatever's carrying down, and then whatever is in the hopper comes to the main thing, and then you can do stuff with that, and then go pick up whatever it had. You can add different kinds of logic to that one. Now, I do believe I made excessive amounts of Larry's linear rails. Yeah, we still haven't really figured out the full extent of the logic. We did this one. Now, yeah. I was working on this, and then we had the inspiration to go do a little silly experiment. Oh. I was really, wait, did the lights just go out? What the heck happened there? Now, I'm sort of seeing a problem with my design so far. In that if I want all of these to be 1, then the station numbers will be way out of whack in a way. No, that's imagining if we remain here. Okay, so we're gonna have to probably move Larry from there to here, will be his base spot, because that'll also make it easier to have access to, these without having giant chutes go everywhere. So Larry's sort of neutral area will be on this side of the room. And then he'll start on the inner line, and that way when he goes here, he goes through all of those and then back again. And then through all of those and back again, and then this guy then goes here, and then we'll have the Larry stations. And then we'll have one more set of plants all the way here to back here again. Is there any point in having this many plants being grown at the same time? Not that I know, but I kind of wanna just. Why not? If we can go crazy overboard, why not go crazy overboard? Yeah, then we have some kind of Larry logic happening in this corner. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I just also put the vending machines down where they are just because I needed to put them somewhere. So they're there too. I don't know, hang out for now. So your limit was here. But I could push this. Oh, yeah. And this music sounds like it's probably from Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I have a couple of Dwarf Fortress soundtracks, Cyberpunk 2077, Pillars of Eternity, and Mars First Logistics. Right. Need to change how that cable goes, but that's actually pretty easy. We should go it all the way across and then down again, and this way we can bring all of these to this point. Alright. I do believe that is a... time for a wrenching. Come on. There we go. Just like pipes, they can go sort of through each other, but they can't have intersecting ends. Sometimes it's interesting to look at the sort of stuff you can and can't do in the game, because it does remind. Because me as a now amateur game dev, I'm realizing like, oh, there must be sort of an in-world coordinate system that has X, Y's, all the sides, and these can go across each other this way because they don't share like an exit point, if you will. Because this one's connections are on that side and that side. This wire's connections are here and here. So they can go this there, so they can be, keep on going in different directions. Whereas if this one would have a connection here and then the wire would have a connection there, well, the game would say, nope, can't be done. It's that corner has been claimed. And the same is true for wires and pipes and whatnot. Because you can make a wire go along a pipe if you use a long piece of pipe on top of a wire. So as long as the ends don't intersect with ends of wires, apparently you can just put them on top of each other. Now, 51 milliliter, tiny amount of water then in here left for these guys, and they're doing a-okay. Now this entire thing has been just left here for not too long, to be honest, and we already have... So it's 1, 2, 3, 4... 404 pieces of wheat. Jesus Christ. And I'm gonna add so much more. That'll be fun. I also have a box with like 6 auto miners I need to place down, and a box with 3 gas-powered centrifuges, which also will then need some code to manage all of that jazz, which I'll look into then. My current system is using just a set of 6 electric centrifuges, and currently that system is still working just fine. So, no rush. Now, to bring Larry over, and have a look-see here. So I'm thinking we could put this guy like here, for example. Now in my code, I have predefined station numbers 1 and 2 to be for the pickup and dumping. So we'll just have to make sure that stations 1 and 2 have those 2 beneath them, and then everything else, well, does this. So this would be the entrance into the... Well, frankly, it doesn't really matter. And with the current logic, I'm gonna just put down a whole bunch of trays and manually plant all kinds of shit there. And we'll see how much Larry can handle. Because auto planting is an interesting challenge, but I just don't see a need for it, other than I wanna. Which, I will admit, is a strong and powerful motivator for me usually. As you might have noticed in the game deving, like, this isn't really necessary, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because I think it could be neat to try. And I'm gonna wanna build some lockers here, just for, you know, making life easier. And then we have a bunch of floor grates. We're gonna need more of them to cover the floors. We'll get there. And I do believe we have a bunch of grow lights, and I have no idea... How would I... If I remove this one and we put those 2 there, the water would flow into here. It doesn't actually need to loop because of how the game handles these things. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to like plant in some... Yeah, we're gonna plant in some wheat along like a large line here, and then we'll see at how far away from the center of the grow light is it no longer getting enough light. And yeah, we'll need the locker so that we can have our plant scanning tablet here. Also need to undo this thing, I think. This one has... frankly, that's acceptable, but also unnecessary. I'll remove that piece of piping. We'll put it inside our atmospherics. Oh, your liquids. Here's atmospherics. We have valves and cowls. God damn it. It did not take very long for me to get extremely distracted again now, did it? One, two, three. There we go. Did I have any more liquid valves? So I feel like I might want to be able to make that choice. I don't see one there. Don't see one there. Don't see one there, and I don't see one here. All the current water is fine. $19.7. 19.7. So okay, that will at least function as a nice little heat sink for if and when the place inevitably heats up. Now these all should be getting water. Yep. So one wheat. There we go. I'll put you there. And same as you. Incurred logic time at 9:24. Ah! Now that is an interesting discovery. So Larry currently, his code breaks if he goes to a station without a tray beneath. have to be malaria code. Yeah, it is. Let's pause that one. I do believe it says line 24. So LS temporary heart malaria 25 255 and occupied. And that is interesting. Can we detect, does Larry have anything beneath? Target slot type proxy. So okay, loading slot type from slot index from all the output network devices with provided type and name hashes using the employed batch. Okay, batch shit. Now I'm trying to avoid batch stuff because my machine is, like I was saying earlier, when we talk about the Steam machine, it's not the newest one, and with even the small amount of code I've been adding and automation, there's lag. It does remind me there was another setting I was supposed to change. I kept on trying to change the frame rate to 60, and then the game said, okay, cool, and then it has changed it back to the 144. I'm like, neat, but I'm pretty sure I specifically turned off your freaking VSync because I can't stream above 60 FPS, so creating all those frames is unnecessary waste of resource, in my case. Load slot, logic slot type, storage register value. Now, okay, so there was a problem, which was that if the... Not a problem, but there was I distinctly remember there being a logic for seeing if something exists. It's tricky, because you have to sort of know what to look for and then try to remember what kind of name for things have you seen. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this game is amazing and I freaking love it, but its interface and first player experience is severely lacking, and I think if they'd spend some more time in the whole first person user experience kind of shit, the popularity of this game would increase dramatically and they would make a lot more money on this. Now, device isn't set. So if we look at set, these are handy because I have a piece of code for my centrifuges, for example, which goes through all the device registries and assumes there's the spinning machine there, centrifuge, and if I haven't put in the centrifuge, it will still work because it'll just check, is there actually a centrifuge assigned here? No? Okay, fine, we'll check the next one, and so on. That's neat. We can save things into the device pens from inside the code, can we? That can be neat. if we could set and unset devices in code, because then we can have it react to situations and change which device it is controlling. For example, we can have multiple Larrys running one piece of code, and depending on which Larry we want to control, we could then have it switch. We have like one pin for the Larry, and depending on the situation, we would then be activating or deactivating one Larry to the other. If we would want to have them all in one pin, for example, for some reason. Simpler way would be just to have, each Larry for their own pin. But it could be neat. But yeah, the drop-off station has been, defined here, and pick-up station. Otherwise, we just go through the thing. Right, so we have a problem with our current logic, in that I would have to cut off all the other areas. Which I guess is fine. No need to worry about the water. Yeah, oh. Already? Man. Want some more wonderful Mars first logistics. Now the Larry should be able to navigate through it all again. And do its goddamn Lariest. And while you do that, oh, right, it is actually trying to replan shit. I should make it detect that if it doesn't have anything in its hand, then don't do the thing. Alright. But now our fellow needs to run away. Right now it's reacting to the fact that, oh, there's nothing here. Try to plant. The idea was to have it be like just to do it like passive planting, because if it's picked up some stuff, it already has something in its hand, might as well plant it. There you can see the unfortunate lag happening. It is actually getting a little rough right now, is it? What if it is the whole Larrying away? Because I don't have anything else on that should be eating that much of my limited processing. Yeah, especially because it shouldn't be the RAM. I got like 32 gigs, so that should be fine. And so it would be my processor that is holding me back, which would then imply that it's in fact, yes, the local simulation, possibly even the GPU actually, it being a 1080. Old reliable. Enjoy the shower. How's my filth? 187 liters. Yeah, we got enough space, so there's no need to rush with that production. We can look at more oxygen. Should automate the whole oxygen system too. Whoop. Ew. Should show the frame rate in the upper right corner from in-game settings. Yeah. And they know hypocrisy on the YouTube side. Hope you're doing well. So we do settings, display FPS. It keeps on dropping down from 60 every now and then. It's okay, at least it's trying to hold it at 60, so that's nice. Latency. Not that I really care. You see this one doesn't have VSync on, and I keep on trying to, but then just stick to 60, please. 60 is good, less than 30, not so much. Yeah, 60 is the maximum I want anyway. Why are you beautiful? You just feel good. Now, we want it beautiful because of the good did some weird things to light every now and then. We're mostly doing okay. Now, right. You make the trays, don't you? $24 more. That'll be fine. Nice. More settings in advanced. Yep. But it doesn't bother me too much. Hopefully it doesn't bother you guys too much. Let me know if you feel like I need to, address the issue a little harder. Yeah, and this place needs to do something with its air, but that means if we do something with this place, we need to do something with this space below, because, well, as you can imagine, these grills are not airtight. Yeah, we have a similar problem then with this space and that place, because I did that one because it looks neat. I mean, that open hole there. But, I might have to close it anyway. The spot dropped to 24. Yeah, not surprised. See, now went to 30, 20. And it goes up so fast. Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot about the lockers and the things. I need those, because I need the plant navigator. Plant analyzer, and we'll get that from the old greenhouse. So I'm gonna run in there and just grab all the shit I can. And the locker. Yeah, pretty much, yep. And bring it all over. And also, yeah, next run, knowing the capabilities of my machine, I might try to make a smaller base. Just saying. No, would you look at that? I'll put you into logistics. Yeah, well, the deep miners. This one has mining backpacks. Logic wants a less space, so we can put some random shit in here. There we go. Yep. Guess I'll eventually have to do something with this base, but I'm not sure what yet. Can't wait to see your next base when you pre-plan it all out, and maybe on Vulcan. Yep. And Vulcan is the way. Live long and prosper. Oh. Every now and then, yeah, need to refill that little tank there. Get that pressure up. Still got 16 kilomoles, so no rush. Add a couple of kits here, apparently. A liquid drain. Those are going to decay into God knows what. It'll be fine. Yet they can't repair suits? I know the feeling, no hypocrisy, because it's annoying to see the health bars being there. And I'm like, oh, I can make a new one, but I would like to repair this one instead to bring it back up. But then the old one will be like, I don't know, lying around. So we're gonna wait for the damage to this one to go low enough so that I'll be, and then I'll make a new one. And the old one will have to go into a recycler. You go there for now. Eggs will go there for now. Pile box full of random ass seeds can hang out there. And we'll deal with that at some point, somehow. There you go. So you're never gonna replant the first ones. Everything else is already full grain. I recently noticed that the sorters really tank the frames, even from a distance, but especially from right next to it. Well, that would I have a large amount of logic sorters just sorting away constantly. In other words, you want your sorting and storage system to be far away from wherever the hell you were hanging out. Fair enough. So, need so many more of these. Now, stop number 1 is pickup, and stop number 2 is drop off. So long there, then be like facing out. Yeah, so that should be the correct spot. A song from Cyberpunk? Yeah, definitely sounds like very aggressive Cyberpunk. Okay, so then we have the... Yeah. So this thing should be able to come straight back here. Stop 1, stop 2. This entire lamp's gonna move, I know, there. Where's my electrics? There's the purple box of colored cables. Lights, fuel generator, electronic parts. Not you. Like grow lights. And oh right. I was supposed to find this guy. Light efficiency at 68%. 69. 9. Oh no, 96. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1. Straight down, because this is on two short ones. So straight down is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got light efficiency. Always tag caution. Thank you. Oh, no, wrong one. There you go. A gentle donation of mouth farts for our plant friends. And I'm gonna have to open up the freaking media player again because it feels like every time I... Maybe it's just the freaking... There you go. Door Fortress music. The cyberpunk music, it's just incredibly loud. Now, we're doing the cables on that side. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one needs to be... 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have from here 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be number 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three. I guess we should add one more plant, I guess. Distance matters also. Yeah, that's what I was measuring there. Then we'll look at the general storage into power storage. Giant purple cardboard. Whoops. I can't do math. Well, good thing I caught myself. You see, this one will then go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next one would go... Whoa, that's a lot of lag. Will most definitely not go here. Because I forgot that this thing will also, you know... So let's do it again. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 for this one. And for this here, this one 1, 2, 3, 4, which means the next one will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So then I either remove those. Oh, see about extending that way, it'll be fine. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Now here's the question, should I be bringing the power in from here or from back there? Because if we do it from back there, then we might be... Oh, doesn't really matter. Now the lines don't need to face down. They don't? What do you mean if you can get it closer, there is a better proficiency? Ooh. So if I have it like levitating here and... Hey there, Balin. Hope you're doing well. No, Brockus is saying like we can get even more efficient grow lights if I place them here on the ground between the plants. Because they'll be really close to it. Because it doesn't look at, you know, facing. It just calculates distance. Fair enough. But that is... Well, that doesn't sound very neat, now does it? For the RP. because I care about that kind of stuff. At least on this run. Maybe on Vulcan, you know, life will start getting properly rough. And that's what we have to start, you know, making hard choices. That way these three will illuminate all of these. A grow... there he is. A grow light will give 80% as long as the plant is in range. Placement may be better on the side. For space reasons though, yeah. I'm also going just aesthetic, so I was thinking it looks neat with the light in the middle, the plants on both sides. So yes, we could have these right next to each other, have a placement on the side, but we made a giant freaking hole now, didn't we? So we're gonna learn to live with this. Now you are currently at, yep, state 1, state 1, state 100, so eventually you'll turn this shit off. And this one keeps on desperately trying to plant things here, but it never has any seeds by the time it gets there, because to get here... you're coming from somewhere else. But hope you're doing well, Balin. Over there on the YouTube side. Yeah, let's close everything and have a quick look-see. So we got the water coming in. They are nice and drenched. And with all the lights on, we'll go have a quick double checky here. So we have light efficiency is at 47 for... what? Oh yeah, because it takes time for them to like deal with it. So efficiency here was 95 everywhere where the light used to be. So now we'll have to wait for a while for the light efficiency number to go up. But it should go, according to what I, well, calculated from the previous placements of the lights. But now we're gonna get... yoink. Frankly, ridiculous amounts of wheat. I don't have to wait for this guy to go past this one so we can... there we go. Now, yep, the farm is going to get a little nuts, I think. Yeah, the new system needs to be designed as well. So if we have the new output be here, new input, or like a pickup spot, which still isn't coded in to do anything, but we want it. I was working a cryo cooler. Never done the one. Done the one before. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, sorry. A solar storm hit. Ooh. Well, hot diggity dog, if it ain't goddamn walls. Welcome in, Raiders. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a good day. Oh, yes, coffee time. Hey there, Yumi Bomber. Nice seeing you. Wall sprayed. Oh, Fishy McScreams. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome on in, Raiders. For those who don't know me, hi, I'm Hannu, son of Hannu, variety streamer and an amateur game developer. I started today as well. We did like a little over 4 hours of the 2-hour game deving. And then we had a vote, and now we are playing some more Stationeers. And it'll probably include some more coding as well. And hey there, Wolf. Hey there, Yumi. Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. Hope you had a good time. So how was... oh, then Escape from Ever After. Were you doing some more demo testing, Wolf? And those are a pain now. Getting really cold and it can be a pain. Ooh. Pom. Yeah. Over on the YouTube side. Yeah, so we're doing an automatic farming system that currently just goes around here and it's all making just insane amounts of wheat. We don't need this much wheat, but we're making this much wheat. And on this side we'll be then making, I guess, soy and other things. Most likely part of this will also be turned into something else eventually. Right now, I'm just planting stuff. It's not a demo, it's a full game. Came out the 23rd. I do need to start cooking food for myself. I'll be lurking a bit. Hey, thanks for the raid again, and I hope you get some nice and delicious food done, my friend. Enjoy your cooking. Oh, smells like freaking garlic bread in here as well. Nice. I'll be sure to take care of you dudes. And yeah, Escape from Ever After. Yeah, because I was checking in on your stream earlier today, and that's why I was then wondering like if you were doing demo stuff, because it's I obviously remembered the name of the game wrong. But okay, automatic harvesting hand is kind of working. I would say okay. Right. Oh yes, and in case Rachel's wondering, yes, we are listening to other game music OSTs because the game doesn't have much of an OST. Yeah, so plants are devouring our carbon dioxide. Our nitrogen level's actually getting a little high because, well, they're just going ham with the O2. So we might have to have a closer look at our atmospherics for this area. I need liquid volatiles, says Balin on the YouTube side. His scanner rocket takes nearly 90,000 mol to get to the end of the map and back. Ooh. I know Brox is saying, even your scanner rocket is a liquid volatiles and pressure gas engine. Well, Balin, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to get to rockets, and it probably won't be taking too long on this run until we get there. Unless, of course, the run ends thanks to an unfortunate accident. Because I'm playing this permadeath. If I die, that ends that run. We are on day 497 of this run in the game and with 0 deaths. And this is from Workers and Resources, this piece of music. Now, our current system is pretty much just trying to maintain pressure using a giant fucking vent. And sucking in gas in here. We have a mixture of gases going in here from this guy. We want to remove excess oxygen, and that is why this one is here. We'll have to add some code to control that one. But now I'm realizing I'm going to need to work on my whole logic here. How exactly do I then add my CO2 here better? The PFGE has a maximum thrust of 40.1 kilonewtons, and the rocket needs it. Ooh. And another budget gamer? Don't do that to yourself. Like the guy at the beginning of a movie saying, nothing bad will happen as long as I'm alive. Well, another budget gamer on the YouTube side. You know what? That's okay. I enjoy the early game as well. I'm really enjoying the fact that now I'm having a excessively large base and getting to build all kinds of interesting things. But a small gremlin in the brain is also saying like, well, what if you just started anew on Vulcan, new challenges? Not that I've like fully mastered all the challenges on Europa even. But still, what if? Right, one thing we're gonna have to do here is check 43 Celsius. Oh, your temperature's gone up to 21. External is at 26. Yeah, we don't have a proper cooling for this area yet. No, temp went up. That's okay. Cooling is easy. We're on Europa. Just put a refrigerant like a... link a radiator to the atmosphere outside and you're good to go. Done that in many rooms and it's easy enough to do it here as well. I'm just having a little bit of a brain fart here. Like, wait, what was I doing? Why? When? Who? What is this? And who has my soup? Now, I have a piece of auto-planting logic where if it encounters an empty one, it'll just try to plant. I think I'm going to have to remove that from the code because I don't want it trying to plant, frankly, wheat everywhere, which it will do. Or at least try. Its current stop is all the way over there. We're going to move that one here. So, let's do that first. We'll stop 1 and stop 2. That way we don't need to do any changes to the code. We'll have a... similar to do here, the APC and code control and everything, because we can get the power to the APC from here, which is the incoming main larger power line. APC being area power control, which will make sure that we have a battery in between to make sure that in case power fluctuates, our logical systems will function. And it also helps the logical systems not get mixed up because they do send power and information through the same cable. Now, currently I am using this thing as a seed container. And this one as my current sort of, well, harvesting materials container. So this one would be moved then, I guess, and it would live here facing this way. That way the grains and things that are picked up get brought up, you get dumped into this thing, and they go not into this, which is a normal vending machine, but this one which is refrigerated, keeping our food nice and fresh for longer, and also it has a magical auto-stacking thing, which most things don't. Nothing to dispense, heckin' perfect. Very large part of me is also considering then at some point, because the idea was also then to automate food production and cooking, so that'll be interesting. But then I'll probably have to have a logical chute connection from wherever we're gonna have our kitchen into here, and it can request things from this guy. But right now, there you go. Is the food one a refrigerator version vending machine? Yes, it is. They have auto stacking. It is silly. So the food comes in. Will that be enough space, though? There we go. Little extra space just in case we do end up adding like some sort of sorting system in between to detect other shit, pretty much. There you go, again done. Now, then we look inside our endless making magical mega pockets here. We look inside our logistics. We look inside this here box, and we put in just magical chute connection. Wait, we don't want to do that because unlike other things, we can't actually have cables going through chutes. So they have to have one step removed. And that way those two cables can join. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. And a 5 if it take in perfectly. Gotta love it when shit works out. The sort of input for all this will be something. And I don't know if you need... Oh, need is a strong word. Should be giving this guy its own... APC. So it'll have its own logic if necessary, and its own emergency power supply. I think it'll be a good idea. And I'll just run here and steal these powers. Oh right, and we also nicked the power from this guy in doing that. Oh well, it's fine. We'll make it work. There we go. Refrigerator vending is A-OK and functional. Then we'll need to grab some of these. Ooh. Just a tiny little.
Hydration critical.
Not again. Ah, man. And you can place a cable through a corner chute. We can? Well, good to know, Balin. Thank you. Now I'm intrigued in trying to stick one there. Oi, you. Calm down. So we have power coming down here. Now if we rebuild this corner is going to disappear. So we could... Okay, let's deal with that quickly before we succumb again. Wait. You're not supposed to be there. There we go. Quick fix of my kind of organized shit. Coil heavy, perfect.
Hunger critical.
Alright, this is going to work just fine, because then the same cable can also then continue to the side. We have a separate APC here for giving then power to Larry and his internal logics, and then have those logics separated in their own power and logic circle for controlling these bad boys. Heck yeah. Oh, right. I was wondering, wait, how are you not getting power? And I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I didn't actually... Alright. There we go. Larry has been orphaned. Because when I broke his track, he just immediately teleported back. Okay, we don't want Larry to actually go all the way there. Because he'll have a... aneurysm. What we do? A deep off and on again. Okay. I'm grab that with me. Vitals are low. I'm just still so amazed that they can like repressurize so freaking quickly. And I feel so stupid that it took me so long to figure out how to do it. Of course, though, this one doesn't do it, does it? Yeah. Because there's no point in to repressurize into this space, because this one is just filled with external Europa atmosphere. And to fix all that's going to be a bit of a ooh, 20 FPS. Ooh. Keep on hitting that every now and then. Do not have the newest machine. I love the game. And I'm pretty sure it won't be RAM that's the issue. I'm feeling that if it's anything, it'll be... There you go. Processor. Because I got the upgrade for like 32 gigs of RAM, and I mean, no, it's not the newest, like what the DDR4 or 5 RAM. I think it's like DDR3 or some shit. It works. Well, this is doing like deep simulation of all kinds of stuff, and that usually means more processor power. Because there's a lot of math involved. Trying to figure out what goes where, why, and how. Yeah. Now, yeah, one full stack makes one full stack of those. It's kind of annoying that it doesn't, you know, keep on doing the sound until it's actually done. I would like it if it did that. I wonder, can I cheat my way into higher stack numbers? I don't think I can. And I dare not tempt fate. But okay, now we have a whole bunch of flour, and these are like pre-stacked, most of these into 200 gram stacks, because that is the amount of stuff we need to make one loaf of bread. There we go, with an extra 150. Oh yeah, you want stack that way. There you go. That's my flour repackaging machine. Got some empty cans. 2 kilograms of flour plus however much this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be 1 kilogram. So 2.4 kilograms of flour. That'll make us a decent amount of loaves of bread. It's the sorters causing the lag spike. You're walking past them. That's very true, no hypocrisy. Yeah. That will most likely be the case. So now I'm slightly regretting that, having all of my cool greenhouse stuff and my giant stack of sorters and silos so close to each other. So in the future, next base, I will then have to preemptively take that into account and have a sort of external ore silo way over there with all the sorters, so it can do all the sorting mathematics without simulating all the stuff happening. Because I think it might be just like the sound hell and everything. I wonder if it is the actual sorting happening and all the placing like ores, for example, or anything that's getting sorted into objects. So the references and things are just moving around so much, blah, 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 blah. So there's so much like rewriting of who owns what and where is this object, and comparing it to entire lists of things and then finding the one thing that it is or isn't, and then moving forward. That's my guess. As a sort of amateur game developer who is currently dealing with similar issues in my silly rune magic game. And when I built this thing, I was hoping that I could just go here like this click, clack, clock, and it would just put stuff here. Doesn't really want to work with the way I was hoping for. But of course, I haven't actually built it properly because it keeps on saying an error. So maybe I can auto remove a suit if this thing is actually set up correctly. Right now it's just there because, you know, for testing purposes mostly. But our vitals are okay and our tanks are at an acceptable situation. We could... Oh, our nuclear battery is all the way down to 80%. It would better change. You bastard. How? What? This can't be right. Oh yeah, who's got a nuke battery that don't need it? You. It'll be fine. And then the whole furnace automation is something I'm also looking forward to. Now, one of the things I love about this game is the writing of code and the fact that you can just download stuff from the workshop. Not that I've done it, but I like the fact that it exists for other people there as well, and people can share code. And so you don't have to be a coder in order to enjoy the coding in the game, and then you have your own library of stuff you've saved. So progress carries through to your next run in that way. So it has roguelike or roguelite elements in a fun way. And I think that's pretty neat. Yeah, we see the FPS tanking whenever these guys get activated. And setting this up was fun. And they're all controlled because they're logic sorters. So they have internal memory. And I set them all with one piece of simple script. I put down the chip housing, had it all built, essentially ran it once, and had the logic within it, like when you had to set things properly to, I don't know, I think you also set the stack size or something so I could visually see when everything had been changed. Well, no, these are just stackers, but yeah, the sorters here. And yeah, I have that now in my data bank. Now, yeah, repressurization going quickly is more visible the other way around. Ooh, looks like my cryocooler is working so far. Got my volatiles down to negative 55.5 and dropping. Ooh, congratulations, Balin. And not just the building platform. We're gonna remove it at some point. And I need to come up with a better system of dealing with the atmosphere here. Because the thing is just set up at 50-50. And I was hoping to then add well, as you can see, we can add logic. Man, I'm gonna want to have this one. Well, generate a more fitting gas mixture, pretty much. But I'm not entirely certain how to do that in a sensible way. But the thing is, eventually the plants will devour the gases inside. And right now, nitrogen is being left over because nothing is devouring it and turning into oxygen. But if we plant other plants that would then favor nitrogen, that will balance that stuff out. Now, I was thinking we could probably have a measurement, like we do now, from the gas sensor of the air composition of the place. And then we would have an appropriate mixture to bring that into our desired ratio. So we'll have the 50-50 CO2 and nitrogen, or we do the similar thing, but we ignore what is happening in the room and try to maintain that kind of mixture inside this tank, because this is the one from which we are then, blowing air out and in as required. These are filled with carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Not that I think I have much nitrogen currently. Yeah, it's empty, but we got a fuck ton of CO2, which is a-okay. Let's get some liquid volatiles. I should be able to get LO2 and LN2, says Balin Elamane over on the YouTube side. Sounds amazing. Yeah, when we get to rockets, then that's when also I'll be then trying to turn things that are very much not liquid into liquid. And I saw discounts. I rated discount yesterday, and I saw him. He had this system where he was using the Europa atmosphere pretty much and pressurizing it so they turn liquid, and then let some of that turn into evaporate into gas in an endothermic reaction, bringing the temperature even down further down, and then having like liquid removal drainage valves. So he had like sort of passively creating liquid oxygen, which is then extremely cold. And their discount, hope you're doing well. Wait. There he was. Yeah, the chat here came at a bit of a lag. Anyway. And then I was pretty inspired by that one, seeing it and thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're doing. I can do that too, because then we know liquid oxygen is extremely cold and can then be very efficiently used to cool down other things and making things like liquid rocket fuel, which sounds super fun. But that is, once we get there. And I think the plants have had long enough now, so let's see if my theory about the lights has worked out. Illumination is light efficient. I guess we'll need to wait for those guys to like be harvested. Like, these guys are new. Oh, we had a heckin' small battery at that. Oof. And oh yeah, we did the thing, but we didn't actually hook it up. Now did we? There you have the labeler material. Light deficient, yes, because most of you were growing here when there was no light. You knew you are at 100% still, but you are also new. Light efficiency 74, 71. And you get 100%. You're brand new. One, two, three, four. You see, you being deficient. No, wait. You should be lighting them as well. That doesn't match our earlier measurements. That's okay. Heckin' small battery. Good thing is I know where to put that. In one of our lights. The battery-powered one. Right now this guy needs some power, so I'm going to jump in here and look at our electrical box. Find from here are colored heavy cables and our wiry wire cutters. There you go, and voila, we got heckin' power. These things are just leaking out of there. I'll put them there for now. For some reason, these import chutes don't always show what's in them for me, and that's a little odd. But, it happens. It's fine. Now, if we then change cable for a bit, and well, we can't go through there anyway, so might as well just and wait. Wrong color. There you go. Green, because of greenhouse. Approximately on YouTube side saying I usually use a pressure regulator set to 75 to inject nitrogen and CO2. Ooh. Cool. Yeah, to get the... Yeah. Oh, for the greenhouse. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And Bailin saying on the green on the YouTube side, on my Europa save, I placed a portable scrubber outside, no filters, bolted down. Connected then gas and liquid pipes. The gas side needed 5 condensation valves to keep up. With a large battery, it nearly filled a large tank of liquid oxygen. That sounds insane. And what do you mean bolted down? Are you telling me the portable connector that I've only been using for portable tanks can also take a portable scrubber? I did not know that. Yep. I think... Yeah, we'll just... do this one same as the other side. And Bailin saying, yes, you can. I'm like, holy whoa. Now I feel mildly tempted to immediately run outside and do all kinds of crazy shit with it, or at least try. And yeah, we'll see how it works. Because yeah, then turning nitrogen, liquid nitrogen for certain things. Ooh, we have a large one. Excellent. All you do currently is power these two. This one isn't hooked to anything, but we need it to just be here. And because I might want to do something with this. It depends on how complex this ends up being. But for now, this whole system is A-okay. Oh, I keep on forgetting. I was supposed to bring the extra trays. Oh, I'll look into it. Now if we then close you and open up you, we should have, yeah, IC housing. There we go. That adds on the reason why I think the portable scrubber is so underrated for what you can do. Yeah, Balin, I'm seeing it now. I mean, just using it for like filtration and emptying room and creating vacuums on the go. That already sort of like blew my mind. Like, what, we can use it in this way? That's amazing. Then one time I accidentally made freaking super fuel inside it and it exploded the base a little bit. We survived, so that's fine. Had a good time. But, yeah. Things can get extra wild there. So here we have, on number 3, we have no device, no device, no device. Then we have export 1, import 2. Just trying to like set up everything. Oh. I was hoping to like just turn you all into nothing. There we go. Export, import, and you will be Larry. Well, we just build them. But first we need to look into our logistics boxes and find, nope, to you. Even more. Endless. We made so many fucking Larry rails. You know, better too many that not enough. And here's a fun way to check. Like, see if we can place a rail here in the middle. And we turn it into a station. And we go one down. We don't. No, we can't because this one has, you know, a valid thingy underneath. Oh, which way is Larry facing? Flip him around, he'll go this way. Yeah, okay. Good, good. That's all I needed. Oh, this one has, yeah, the deep miners. There we go. Hey there, Python. So how you doing? Indeed. Hope you're having a nice day. And hold C to go backwards and unscrew until you can select no device. Oh. Because I tried to go forward and then go into no device, so I assumed just going backward would also just be flipping between the two. My bad. Been looking for days. I noticed that. 10 stream streak. Thank you very much, Python. I do appreciate it. And Bailey in the Lemon YouTube side saying, a tip for when you need CO2 for plants on Vulcan, place a scrubber outside with one of your CO2 filters. Pipe it to a mounted regular gas tank. It'll fill it to 8 megapascals and your base can cool the tank with it in your hab. Ooh, slow, but works. Sounds neat. My VR headset's wires frayed out last night. Oh, that sucks, Pythos. Pro tip, don't lay down with a wired VR headset. Yeah. Sound advice. Yeah, I've been also doing my own mild lurking, and I have indeed noticed that our friend Pythos has been very active in those funny VR chats. Alright, let's see if we can make it work. So first we make Larry a little sad. When I'm sure he'll learn to forgive us eventually. We'll turn you off and a drill. With a lot of VR chat people coming over due to some stupid decisions on the part of the VRC devs, so we've been welcoming them to chill out and making them feel at home. Okay, well that's always nice. That's always lovely. Especially if it's such like a social environment to then open it up for people who might not be happy with, you know, the devs' choices. Happens in many places. And it's always good to have then be able to create such a welcoming atmosphere. Not sure why you were here. But I'll take it. There you are. Come on. Potato. Yeah, it's good. There we go. Name the VRC enabled the option to block virtual machines from connecting to the game. With a lot of people needed to play it. The VRC points the finger at Epic. Epic said, yo, you have the option to turn that off. Skill issue. Ah. Tragic. No, the both words. Let us unleash them upon these poor hapless plants. And bring them insane amounts of unnatural joy. So now number 100 should be Larry. We'll yoink that shit away. Slap that in there. Go get the missing missing trays, because we need to expand on that one a little bit as well, and get it all working just fine. How are you okay? Poor old doggo. Yeah, it's like for people caught up in this. It's not fair, but we do what we can to give them a place to chill out. Pun definitely intended. Nice. I approve. Oh, right. Should have probably done that first. Yoink. Alright. Womp. And number tools. There we go, handrail. There we go. I think that's pretty much as far as I can take it here. Then we double check I didn't put anything there. Good. General hardsuit, logistics, linear rail. And from here to wire cutters. That remains as station 26. You are station 1, station 2. We close off those, have another look at the... There you go. Logistics box. Some powered chutes and... I'll keep on harvesting and then it will replant into all of those. So by endless wheat production will continue endlessly wheating.
Hunger caution.
There. That would have broken the logic. Nice. And as such, we can have another look-see here, and the nitrogen levels, nitrogen ratio, but that way is increasing, and now you'll be then eventually dumping all that lovely harvest. Oh, you planted everything you had from here, and that's, well, lucky number. Okay. Nice. Everything works. And the lights are bright. Wonderful. Now I just need a lot more of those. Empty box. There. Grab the wrench. Remove the last of those. Grab the hand drill. Check out our right hand pocket where we have a hard chute backpack, within which are more backpacks, within which we have large cardboard boxes. Gotta say, these pants stretch pretty far. Yep. Open the electrics, put the battery there and the hand drill. I'll grab you, open the logic, and you get the IC housing. Look inside this box. Yeah, this one was brought down here pretty much for the express purpose of that logic. And now that it's happening on the other side of the room, these wires are not needed. Four-way junction doesn't sound like something I want to fuck around with too much. Okay. Now, this one takes in nitrogen and carbon dioxide. And wheat. Only carbon dioxide. Only carbon dioxide in large amounts. What else did I have? I don't know, did I have any rights? Only carbon dioxide. And only carbon dioxide. Okay, some of them want nitrogen, most of them don't. Let's get a check on cocoa, pumpkin, and tomato. Okay. This is input 2. No. So this way we can have the system react to, our needs here by changing gas mixer going into the tank right now. Of course, I'm also considering the fact that I should probably then have a separate maybe a pressure release valve for the CO2 so that if we in an emergency we pull down the pressure in the entire room so that we can then have the pressure valve just fill up the rest with carbon dioxide. So it's sort of in a sort of like dumb automation of pushing in more carbon dioxide. I'm almost a fan of dumb automation. I do like my smart automation too, but dumb automation does have its perks. And one of the things we could do is immediately grab at least you're just an empty box. So I'm gonna put you there. You're gonna live there. What is this? Grow light. This guy needs power. So, there we go.
Hydration critical.
Yeah. Hello there, Knapzor. Hope you're doing well. Knapzoneer as well. Never fear, the Knapzoneer is here. Let's turn you on and slap this thing in. Whop. And... give me that one.
Hunger critical.
Nah, it's fine. You're just overreacting. Trust me, bro. Growing poorly, you're saying? There we go. Now I got some soybeans, so at least something is devouring the nitrogen in here. And we don't need soybeans anyway. Also a good example, I mean, a good test for it, now having multiple different kinds of plants under that same super simple Larry automation. So far it's worked fine as long as it just deals with one type of plant. But it should be able to deal with multiple. There we go. Yeah, we're doing good. Also, I do now want to add some logic for the whole power measurement, because we have power measurement happening in the mountaintop solar panel array thingy and wind and extreme wind farm. There's a large amount of large batteries there, and that is being sent through a sort of central power network that is also feeding into this base, but also the outpost with the deep miners. Now I'm thinking that I would like a sort of logic that would then check, because we are now wirelessly getting the power ratio from there, and we could then have I would like to have an internal logic that also then measures the ratio of all our batteries here. We put them on a graph screen because that sounds fun. But more importantly, then we'd have a logic that would then control a transformer that is determining how much power we are grabbing from that central spine network. So if the local batteries go down, the ratio that we're getting externally also then goes up. Is what I was thinking. And I think it could be neat. Okay, we are powered, we are fed, we are ready to go. Ooh, and if we look inside our hard suit power, okay, first of all, there you go. Like a nuclear battery into this one. You are also in need of recharging, and I'm pretty sure we had a large battery. Oh right, yeah, we put it in the thing. That's fine. You're supposed to go in a light eventually. Okay, this one is... yeah, it's powering all of that. And that guy. There you go. Ooh, running low on normal coils. And all these floaty things need to be removed eventually once project this room starts. That's gonna take a little while. Would get completely in 3 minutes. 11 hours and 3 minutes. Neat. I wonder what will happen when 100 units turns into something that seems to have a maximum stack of 25. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, so what next? So we need iron. So we can make more planting things. There we go. Back on track. And once we get the furnace system automated, which is a post-greenhouse project that we're absolutely going to spend some time on, that is when I also believe that, we then have a system for requesting ores and whatnots, which means we can then have the sorting system and sorters far away from us as a player, which means they should hopefully cause much less lag. And that would allow us to then also then have the furnace automation code be able to then just request all kinds of stuff from over there. From like far over yonder. Far over there and not my problem land. I'll open you up. Up to 30, input 10. Frankly, I'll just leave you open. You'll be fine. Double checking that we're not doing this completely ass backwards. We got a whole bunch of steel here I made not that too long ago. Copper, solder invar. It's just iron. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Like, just have this thing always be open, especially if you're only melting more or less singular pieces. And then have that lead to a stacker. Yeah. Getting groovy. Wait, what's this? And what is this? That one has water ice. You're an empty box. I can grab the empty box though. Then I'll close those. So you get the general backpack, top right, put you a wagon. Trying to run away, are you, eh? Mr. Iron Boy. And then all this ice water that we were gonna... Oh yeah, we were doing that for the endless power water crushing machine, McQueenie. Which didn't really work the way we hoped. At least with the shitty McQueenie? Panini. Oh, silly setup. Belen Alamein on the YouTube side did point out that the electrolyzer also then is an endothermic reaction. So having it run there in the extreme cold would explain why it wasn't maybe the most efficient. Oh. You're not empty? Are you? You're an empty one. And go nuts. Go. That's 10, 20, 30. That's 40 of them. And you're done. Temperature ain't too bad. And there we go. Well, that'll take a little while to get done. But that's what we're doing. We just want to place all of those and plant more plants. Then I wanted to pretty much just increase the amount of CO2 in there, but we don't really have an easy peasy way of doing that. Well, I guess we get to go and have a look-see at the oxygen removal system, at least. While those guys keep pumping out the greenhouse chase. And then I guess we could also then have another look at the electrolyzer into H2 combustor, into engines, Stirling engines back into electrolyzer. Electrolyzer, barely nowhere. I don't think it just keeps me like stuck in my head. Oh, and we need to empty this thing. I'm putting it inside the locker and bringing in some more cardboard boxes for just all the seeds for now. I think that'll work just fine. Now, filtration system has a... What do you have? Ratio of oxygen devices input network. Also, I don't think I've done any changes in Hydrolary, but just in case. Yeah. Let's see. With the chip inside the I don't know what to look for there. Maximum 100 ratio 0.5 and ratio oxygen input is 0.26. So if ratio oxygen input is above 0.25. Now, if we then slash we yes, there we go, into room oxygen, we call you R0 oxygen. And we load from into room oxygen from device. Is it dB? Logic type. Ratio oxygen input. There you go. Alias filtration state. Would be R1. Then we what is LST? Save less than min2. Greater than into filtration state, and in here we if room oxygen is greater than target oxygen ratio, and then we save dB on filtration state, jump to start yield. That's all you do. Now, okay, that's not how it works. Mode. Into different mode state, different devices have different mode states available to them. What is your ratio? Okay, so we don't actually want to deal with can be read to return if the power device is currently powered or not. Set the power by the system one if powered you have not. Okay. Because then we can get the state of our filtration system as well and send it out to like some warning lamps or whatever. Sensible pipe input and a filter output as well as unfiltered outlet for any residual gases. I'm like, cool, but how do I make the maximum setting? I'm like, I don't. There's so much information I've gotten purely from chat. I'm wondering, like, what is the maximum of this? What is the setting of this? And then someone else has to tell me. The game should tell me this. This Stationpedia should let me know what is this. Oh, there's the mode things. Well, it depends on the device what the mode is. I'm like, cool, but how the fuck am I supposed to figure that out? Oh, thank you. Okay, so we changed mode from idle to active, cool. But I was thinking like, okay, but what still doesn't explain what the ratio does here. What exactly we do is setting. They should have just a little bit more information, because obviously someone coded this. They made it. They know what these things are. It shouldn't be that hard to just also add the notes from your documentation into the game. You know, it's just saying. And there might be an external mod that, you know, puts that in the game. But that doesn't fix the issue. The core game has a difficult... It's not that approachable to new players. Ergo, not doing that well. So we change the mode. Confirm. Click, 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 click on the export. Throw in there. Turn you on. Yep, oxygen ratio going down. Oxygen moles increasing slowly. And the idea is here that we then have a one-way valve for the oxygen here there as well to the other oxygen tank there, but it goes away from here, not into here, whereas there's one-way valves there, letting nitrogen and carbon dioxide be that's something we could throw into here. But we're going to wait for the gases up there to cool down enough so before we start letting any of that pump into here. Now input 1 here remains... So the nitrogen here is too high. You're all thriving. Yeah, so some of the ones who are here a little older weren't doing too hot. The rest are doing okay. And the funny thing is that the environment can then affect the genetics, right? So if we do it this way, because whenever we finish harvesting something, we plant it right down. So every plant is actually also a direct descendant of whatever plant has been living there. So we'll have potentially localized evolution with how the game handles genetics. And I think that's kind of neat. This will allow me to at least check some of that, and then we'll have to add some kind of place here for, you know, doing our dark, evil genetic experiments at some point, perhaps. We'll see how it all works out. I remember an empty box, but we did not leave it here. You have some spots on that mini. Well, if this one gets populated and we link you back into here, the first place you'll be going is here. So that's why, that's after dumping your whatever's in your hand. Good, so you won't be replanting that shit in here. So then we can put here the, you know, tomatoes, pumpkins, whatever all kinds of other cool jazz. And now see the gas being sucked in there, and part of me is thinking, should I... Like, I probably could... Like, you'll come all the way from here, so we could even move the entire filtration thing, because, you know, the chip is controlling it. We can even just close, there you go. And have that one hang out on this side. That way we can have a filter go and pipe going out. Not snaking around too much. But most importantly, the O2 is going down. These have been producing. Now we just need to make sure we get more CO2, which we can't on account of that shit. Now, it doesn't want to do it for a very clear and simple reason. There's no input 2 yet, so I can't do the mixing, so I won't do the mixing, even though majority would still be that. Okay, so we can affect that by just putting in some more nitrogen. Yeah, this thing is trying to maintain this at a pressure of around 40 megapascals, I think I gave it. We could probably change that number. And on tip for air filtration, so if you place an active vent on its input, it'll turbo speed it. Ooh. That's pretty neat. Thank you, Balin. I'll keep that in mind. Right now, that thing is just, it's okay to run in passive because it's just to remove, you know, passively excess oxygen. There's very little of it. If we have at any point, you know, it's not keeping up, then I'll just supercharge it. Max pressure is at 30. Let's change that one down to 20. Now let's give them a tiny bit of nitrogen in here, because then they feel this system should work. And by now, the tray production should also be doing better. And then we can start planting the other plants, and once they're doing better, we can then, you know, plant some plants directly. And if necessary, change some settings for detecting. Oh. Ooh. Yep, that'll keep us going for a while. Yeah, we're probably gonna change our detection from maturity to seeding. Now, if we add our vending machine to the logic systems, then we can use that to collect seed. We'll have to have a sorter, which is mildly annoying. Oh, we don't even need to do that. We can have a sorter and a stacker all in one by putting everything in the refrigerated vending machine. Because you see, it has an auto stacker, and then I will have a logic loop that also looks through what's inside there. Once if there's any seeds, and that seed amount goes above, you know, full stack, eject that, send it into the next one, which will be a normal vending machine. And that way we don't have to have active sorters or stackers. This bad boy can do all of it. then it'll feed into this thing. Also meaning that entire thing needs to be flipped, but that's okay. Yep. Alright. Thank you, Kai Piranha, for the 123 for that follow. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day, friend. And that's LMT. Yo, I'm usually a lurker, but this stream is pretty solid. Had to follow. I'll bring my friend turn again. Hey, no worries, man. Add me in Discord. Well, hey. Wanna hang out? There is a Discord to be found in the about stuffs, where you can discuss things like Stationeers and or game dev, should you feel like it. How's it, Kaipiran? Hope you're doing well. And so we grow, we build, and we see what all we get up to. So that's one, and well, there's no rush in finishing up this half. Might even push these further in, especially because we might be able to get rid of this cable completely, because technically, thanks to these guys being linked all the way here, we could have the power going down on that side. And then this could link into that lamp. That one is not needed, and we'll have a similar one going down here, link into that lamp. Yeah, I like that one. I like that. So that empty box can go there for now. Let's not go too inside with the seats just yet. Two. Well, if nothing else, I got a whole lot of wheat and potato seeds. Now the wheat production is okay because there we go. Come on. I do believe we need those to feed those chickens. We will eventually have to also manage, because we got those seeds, which should hopefully, thanks to being inside a container, will be protected from the horrors of reality and decay. Well, these are now built far enough, so we could link good old Larry into this row. Let's do it. We have pumpkin seeds. Tomato. Cool. And sugarcane. And a couple of ferns. And I realized that might not have enough grow lights, and I might have fucked up extra hard there. Well, we'll find out soon enough. So wheat and potato can go. Hang on, right there. Scan the switchgrass. So we do have 2 grow lights, which is nowhere near enough. Man, I wish I could crouch. But it looks like it'd be correct. Now, there might actually be some more here. And we have a grow light inside here. And sadly, we can it. Nice. This means that we're gonna do, yep. My cable rearrangement I was talking about. Let's now go. So a couple there. Couple there. There we go. Ooh. So we have more greens than we need, so we're gonna pump those in here. See if I found a problem with my logic here, with my planning. Yeah, these 2 lines are too close to each other. We could, I guess, just move this piece of rally rail 1 step to the left. And then it would be fine. Oh, except for that part. Oh, yeah. That's okay, because it's easy to move this one, because it was just Larry, moving forward. No, very literal sense. Come on. Come on. There you go. Heckin' straight cable.
Hydration critical.
There you go. We got some. Almost thriving. Thriving. They're all doing good. Which is good. Had something invisible stuck in his hands. Well, not anymore. Not in the power one, there you go.
Hunger critical.
Yeah. It'll take a little while before we actually get to the point where we start straight up taking damage. Oh man. More of the wonderful music of Pillars of Eternity. That ain't too bad. Pressure went down a little bit, but that guy is maintaining it. I'm not sure where we vented, but thankfully, we got him in time. There we go. Everything's working exactly the way it should. Heckin' amazing. Now you're dealing with a lot of plants. We'll see how you end up. What you end up doing there, friendo. What kind of a mess will old Larry here create? We're just gonna run off and have ourselves a nice little tasty piece of dry bread loaf. Everyone's favorite. No, too late. I do believe I have some extra canisters, so I guess I could make some of those more waste gas canisters and build a system for just plonking the entire old gas canister in it, and which has a active pump and some logic to, drain the bastard. Now we need like at least this many, so. There you go. Make some more hydroponic trays. I'll be a runaway. I gotta move that lamp. I thought like those angled wall lamps would be good, but turns out they're kind of shit. Whereas the wide ceiling lamp has been the best performing lamp so far. So I wanna. First we'll have a mega sippy turbo drink. Get our hygiene all the way up to 150. Put the suit on. Everything here is working. We got some extra tanks and shit. And I like how those work. It's very pleasing. Alright. We also have a quick visit to the place. The gas filtration room. This one is still gonna make 19 more. Been here a while. How's this place doing? Temperature is pretty solid, and aside from the tiny bit of pollution, which is most likely from a use of a spray bottle. Temperature 75.8. 32 kilomoles. I mean, cooling it down there, it is happening slowly, but it is keyword slowly. I could do that. Put 44 kilomole. Oh, the filters 0 and 81. CO2 is at here. How about heavy? Oxygen is at 0 and 87.
Omi dog.
And indeed, the pollutants. You are quite correct there, Gim Potato. We're getting there. Oh my god. Don't talk to me, doggo. Not long left. Okay, so we have to do then a couple of more CO2 ones and an O2 and a nitrogen heavy. But first... What? Magic. I'm gonna leave these to haunt me. And hopefully, I'll discover the answers. Oh! Okay, they must have been... No, yeah, that's 50. Fair enough. We'll get those planted. Oh, I mean, look at that pressurization. So fast. Have a quick look-see here. Because now there is tiny amounts of nitrogen. This one's at 30. I see. I appear to have made a mistake. You've had a single zero there. 6 megapascals or oh, the pressure difference. Pressure in here is too high. So I could... O2 remains at a constant 25. Alright, so I could have then a... what is effectively a passive vent, I guess, there. And then have that logic not driven by the pressure in the tank, but I mean, maybe also to make sure we don't get too much shit in here. Yeah, it'll be better to have this thing actually linked to a vent blowing out and its ratio and on status depending on then the ratio of O2 and CO2. Perfect. Heckin' perfect. Soybeans growing moderately well. Well, I'll accept it. You're doing moderately well. No, dear, you only do moderately well. I gave you everything, you planty bastard.
Storm incoming.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a lot of freaking wheat seeds. Well, at one point I was like frankly ridiculously overproducing wheat. It seemed like a good idea. So these are ones I don't know if they'll survive, so we want these extra seeds here just in case. Oh, it's empty finally. Like no need for extra spuds. Except, wait. Let's do fancy ones. No, also carbon dioxide. I just want to make sure, like, if anyone else would have been, other than the soybeans, devouring the nitrogen. But I guess we could just also... Let's stack a 10, stack a 10, stack a 10, stack a 10. There. Now y'all can keep consuming all the wondrous and wonderful gases from inside here. Oh, moderately well, it's still fine. Now I need to make the lariat that can pick up loose items and drop loose items. Because that'll be our chicken wrangler. I want to then feed it. Give it a whole bunch of, like, just wheat to throw at the chickens. Maybe we'll have just like an ejecting, like, chute, which just every now and then throws in some wheat for the chicken nations, and then we'll have the another lariat might be better because I think if you can, like, then detect what's around there, and it can suck up the wheat, see how much was there, if necessary, then bring in more, but also there to mostly remove all eggs, and then we can have egg production. Freaking magic. Let's have a quick look see at how angry these plants are. Maybe wheat is thriving. Illumination stress 95, no efficiency, light efficiency 51. (52) Intensity 80%. Oh well, it's fine. Illumination stress 94, no deficiency. Now all the numbers are A-OK. Required 1%. Gases or A-OK. Light efficiency is at a nice number. Temp is a little high. Now that was good. So yeah, we just need a cooling system, so we'll use the external atmosphere. Pump that through a radiator, stick the radiator somewhere here. Look at all them seeds, I know. So many seeds. That's all seeds, mostly wheat. This box is full of trays. This one has seeds. This one has seeds. So many seeds. I'm hoping to get more eventually, but we need to get some of these more exotic ones, like the pumpkins and the tomatoes and cocoa and sugarcane to grow some more. We have some fern seeds, but then might have to do a logic where Alaria looks at what do we have stored in our vending machines, and if there is an X amount of seeds, we don't wait for that plant to reach seeding. But if there is an X amount of seeds that is below an X amount, then we wait for that plant to reach seeding before we harvest. I think that could be a good idea. But that will also have to then remove the whole part with the whole auto planting. The wheats are just freaking growing like crazy, though. I'm producing so much wheat. Insane amounts of wheat. This is why we need the chicken, so we can get eggs, the soy beans, so make a big oil, because then eventually we can and the sugar cane, so we have sugar, and we're gonna start mass producing cake and exporting it. We're gonna be the Europa confectionaries limited. And we need more railings, so we can gonna walk around here, look at our beautiful farms. And we have space here for building something. We'll see what. And then more floor grating on top of all of this. We might do plastic coverings here. And then the walls need to turn green. Maybe a window over here to just, make it look all neat and shit. And turn you from a simple one-way valve to see if can we make a digital one? No, we'll have to have a one-way one somewhere along the line, and then a digital valve here, so that they can flow between them, but not this one. Or if and when we eventually need more water. Currently, we have. Fair enough. Temperature 32. There was like well over 100 liters there, but I did build a hecking large amount of those trays, so I'm not that surprised the number went down. But I'd rather there be, more. So then we can have a digital, so one of those there along this line, then a digital valve and a pipe detecting system, so we can make sure that the temperature here doesn't get too high. Currently this one is warming up the room, all the machinery is warming up the room. We have no cooling, so that is something we need to do. Hey there, Neff. Oh, you hope you're doing well. Yeah, and this auto emergency planting behavior needs to be removed, because right now that would be just mostly problematic. So that's done. These. Well, before we plant anything here, there's no point in adding this into the current Larry network. Greenhouse looking great. Thanks, Neff. I'm glad you like it. There is work to be done. There's too much nitrogen, so we added some more soy plants. Then I tried to... So I finally got some nitrogen in here as well, so that the logic of mixtures... Temperature is far too high. But that's okay. So I'm pretty sure this thing is not getting filled on account of this pressure being 6.54, this one being at 455, and this one 726. So the actual pressure inside these pipes is too low. I realize these are all like normal pipes, and then use the insulated. Oh yeah, because I had insulated tanks. That's the only reason I really use the insulated tanks. So yeah, then we can add pipe radiators here. Pretty much they'll warm up this space, and then we'll add actual radiators using the external Europa air, linked similarly to which we have in other places with some logic, where with a target temperature. Cake. Yeah, Knapsor, that is the goal, to have a large-scale cake production. One of the goals. That is why we need to get those chickens to survive. The wheat harvesting is going ridiculously well, so we are just... We got more flour than I know what to do with. And the plant matter that we keep on producing, we can then turn some of that into charcoal for the water filtration so we can reuse our wastewater. And then we're going to need the composting system. So I guess that's sort of almost next. Because right now, we just need to wait. Because we have enough soybeans, we have potatoes, we have... We don't actually have any potatoes marked here just yet, so the code needs to change to stop the auto planting, and then whatever a plant will be, harvested and then replanted where it is. So I am in absolute control of what gets planted where currently, so it won't be requesting anything at any point. It would be an interesting code to make if we could then determine, well, trace between number, minimum and maximum, so we just essentially declare those to be a set, and if within that set, if you find an empty tray, then request something to plant in it, go pick it up, plant it there, bring it back, and so forth. Right now, this thing is just looping. It has yet to encounter a situation where its hand is too full or it cannot do its work, so it hasn't really activated the go empty your hand loop. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when that goes down. Now I'm going to have a quick look-see here at our Larry code. We were looking at this, we changed the tank max pressure, we were mucking about with this and it just ain't working. And I'm afraid we need to go fix that one quickly before we fuck up too bad. Because I think we added 1 0 too many. There we go. A part of me wants to add a passive vent there, so this thing will just blow stuff into the atmosphere here on account of the whole CO2 levels being a little less than ideal. But now at least the soybeans will partially nibble into our nitrogen levels, and the O2 is stuck at 25 because we automated our filtration. Yes, we could make it faster, more powerful, but we don't need to because I want to keep it at 25. So this is now detecting if the input, the oxygen ratio detected at the input vent is above 0.25 with that chip. Then the mode goes from idle to active. And it filters until it's below 25%, then it mode changes from active to idle. So that's working beautifully. Or the tank changes from beta in the game yet. The ones that turn big tanks into big inline tanks. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to find out. Because essentially, if I've understood it correctly, all it does is just remove the whole logic port. Which does remind me, yes, we should be putting in more pipe analyzers and not looking at tank pressure. I wonder if that's it, why the thing isn't working, if they already did put it in. I don't know, man. I don't know. We have to find out. I'm gonna turn you off. Grab you. Import. Edit. We need to find where that behavior happened. So let's temporary Larry export occupy. We check our hand. We do some shit with that. I don't give a shit. If unoccupied, request seed plant in the tray. Branch relative not equal 0. Temporary. We do 1 2. But if temporary does equal 0, we're doing this currently. So I'm just gonna comment those 2 lines out. Export. Perfect. Now no longer reacts to, empty trays, which is what I want. Because then I will be manually planting things that I want where and clear. So we're getting cocoa, we're getting sugarcane, we're getting some more. There's 10 soybeans there and 10 soybeans here, so 20 soybeans, a ridiculous amount of wheat. Plant something there. We got some 2 tomatoes there as well and 2 pumpkins, which will hopefully then all survive. But yeah, temperatures slowly but surely keeps on increasing in this room, so yeah, we need to deal with that. We could, I guess, use these walls. So then we could have the radiators here, but the logic in with just logic chips, slap them on the wall. Because I have the logic chips, might as well use them. We don't need an entire heckin' IC chip. And then again, we do have an IC chip there controlling all of that. We have access to that one, so in that way, just adding a digital valve here would also work. So then we have radiators. Yeah, that'll work. One or two large radiators would be more than enough because, well, this place is slowly increasing in temperature, but nothing too bad. So I'm assuming one large one with the wondrous Europa atmosphere should be enough to keep us at a target of, let's say, 23 Celsius. 24. On that, my friends, we'll be at another time. In a long time. 8 hours, and I need to go walk the doggos. They are being restless and passive-aggressive, actually, in there with their staring. Had a good time. Web dev went well. Stationeering is progressing wonderfully. And yeah, greenhouse is pretty much fully automated currently. Not fully. Like I said, we need a digital valves for controlling our cooling. And we might want to have the same thing also then controlling our water situation. So now we have manually operable one-way valve. So if we instead, like I said, put the one-way valve further back, we could have that one there, and then a digital valve here to control whether or not we want to request more water. Because we care about the temperature on the different sides. And so on. And currently the external water supply is not... Now it's cooler. Fine. Well, then we have a digital valve which can turn it on, open it or close it when necessary. Either that or a pump. Waste tank. Washing my ass. There we go. And then I think I want a... We want a tank refilling station. And emptying station. So we have, now that we only have the one, but it would be better to have more than the one. So you can, one of them actually linked here to this thing, because it'll slowly but surely get pressure. Eventually it'll be large enough to then easily fill up an oxygen tank. Then we have an oxygen tank and a pressure regulator and or maybe better to have a pump. Just deals with the logic of that shit. That'll be okay. And then a separate piping system for like just removing the emptying the waste tanks. So we can have empty waste tanks peppered about, maybe oxygen tanks as well. And then we go run up to those, switch out the oxygen tank, and switch out the waste tank, and then there'll be a pump sucking out all those waste tanks. In fact, it might be really good to have them all linked into a single system with a single pump, which is pumping all the waste gas into pretty much the greenhouse. Or our pipe filtration system. Nah, greenhouse. Because our waste gas is and will remain CO2. Sorry. And we don't have one, but we could, of course, also put in an absolute emergency kind of filtration system for pollutants.
Hunger caution.
I don't think they're coming in. There's no reason for them to be here. But that doesn't mean we, you know, I ain't gonna fuck up at some point. I'm pretty happy with the place. That need nicer walls. Ooh, FPS dropped dramatically, so I'm assuming we just got another large batch of shit from our centrifuge. Because we're hanging too close to our sorters, and apparently sorters are in fact affecting our FPS. I think that's pretty neat. And the good thing is, because now we have a system here that is getting rid of excess CO2, we are producing CO2 in various ways. We can then... You might want to also link our cooling automation to the big gas tanks over here in our sort of local gas storage for the greenhouse. And now we have a active production of pre-warmed oxygen. I mean, we have just infinite oxygen, so we don't really need to worry about that one too much. But now we can produce more useful atmosphere for pressurizing the rest of the base, which is something I want to do. Just, I mean, not that we need to do it, but I kind of just wanna. And then we'll have to have more airlocks and more security systems to make sure that in case of bad, you know, find a way to fix. Oh, and we're gonna need a pass-through vent, I think, to go like here. So these two would then share atmosphere, because I want a door here. I don't think an internal door here could look pretty neat, but I do want them to then share the atmosphere, so a pass-through event would work just fine. And then, yeah, we need to choose, do we put cooling up here or in here? And I'm starting to feel like, yeah, in here would be best, because then we can link the cooling logic to also make sure that these tanks get cooled down. And because, you know, everything here is exposed, some of these are insulated, which is less than perfect, but that's fine. And we can use this pipe radiator, so these will then heat up the room, and then the external Europa air will cool down the room with the radiators, and I think they would balance each other out. Yeah, I see that. Okay, thank you everyone. Good talk. Oxygen keeps on dropping, but that's a-okay. We got more. I think just for the hell of it, we should probably build like a giant insulated tank and just fill it with oxygen, just pure oxygen, and add like a pleasant, balmy 20 Celsius. And we can use that for many things in the base then, and link it up to a proper like plumbing network, because that was the idea with the little weird box passageways, to have them to be utility passages. And we're finally starting to use the sort of utility passage logic with these pipes. And having more centralized places for gas mixing, so on would be handy, but I did want these to be, you know, specialized for this room, and then have their own sort of backup tank systems. And then from this one we could then pump into our large giant oxygen tank somewhere. Yeah. Gonna be fucking grand it is. Absolutely will. But I need to save the game. Yeah, place needs more color. Absolutely. And save and exit to the Ideski McToppy. Don't you dare do it. Ah, you bastard. It's not the first time. I'm finally getting, okay, we're gonna get ready to raid. You know what happens? Fucking ads. The game's already dead. So sorry about that, everyone. Makes me sad. Well, I guess it just gives me a little bit more time Have fun with your talk some shit. Let's put on the fun music. Let's put on Toaster. Well, we'll wait for the proper raid songs to then start. And yes, this song is called Toaster. Yeah. Amazing dancing. I freaking love it. Yeah. I still haven't done the, like, exclamation start, the clip command, but I need to make that one work, because I did realize the clip was a thing. But there's a freaking button in Twitch. You just push the button and it auto makes a clip. I thought you had to, like, just properly do a clip. Now I know. What are people doing? What might you like? Where, my friends, do we raid it today? Of course, yeah, my complaint about ads has nothing to do with all the lovely people over on YouTube. But, there we go, ads are over. Well, let's enjoy this music a little while longer. Freaking love it. Dancing in my coffee cup. Just splish. Thanks for hanging out, Nev. I appreciate it. I'll be back the day after tomorrow, so Sunday. I'm finally taking those 2 days off. I'm supposed to be taking off, which is the Friday and Saturday. Well, taking them off. There's just IRL shit to do. And I'll either be Vintage Story or Dwarf Fortress, apparently, and I think the answer will be... I don't know, he's been on for 8 hours, so it won't be that guy. Here we go. I shall send you off. There, no, drinking industry, there we go. Now it's the proper raid music. So we're going to send you all over here to the wonderful Miss Mitchell, playing Dwarf Fortress, as they usually do, having a good time. Playing out there in a fort called Three Drinks, the Year of 6. And they're apparently having a shart off on February 12th. I'm not entirely sure what that means, except most likely the shart arc face off. Well, that's in Feb. I'm going to send you all over there. So Mitchell is always a good time, fun times, an excellent player of Dwarf Fortress, a source of good inspiration for any and all designs. So, thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you to all the chatters, all the lurkers, and all those who just wandered on in. Hope you had a good time. I really did have a wonderful time with all of you today, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day and a wonderful upcoming weekend. So, like I said, I'll be back on Sunday. We'll be then returning to the magical world of game dev and then playing Game of the Day. I think we'll be trying to maintain this whole voting system, unless at least a few days a week. Because we've got to make sure we have to then find time for all the games like Stationeers and Void Stranger. So, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Have a good one. Stay awesome. I'll be seeing you around. Ta-ta.